Some of the best fighters in the team boxing league step into the ring.
From the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia Team Boxing League, Week 8 is going to feature two undefeated teams. The Assassins out of Miami on the road to take the hometown team, the Philadelphia Smoke. I know that cliche is always somebody's O's got to go. We're going to have that tonight. Alongside Al Bernstein, I'm Bethel Duran. And when you look at these teams, Al, you're looking at two teams that are very talented, two teams that are hungry, two teams that are well coached, and two teams that don't want to lose. And when I look at them, Al, in my opinion, probably the two most talented teams in the league.
Yeah, I can go with that. You know, you look up and down these rosters, and you see both young fighters and veterans who are not only talented, as Beto said, but are having the best years they can possibly have in TBL. And so what does that create? It creates great matchups for us tonight. And we only need to begin at the lightweight division, where we can have an excellent matchup. Philly lightweight Angel Hernandez has been all action, and he's on a 3-fight win streak. He's showing power, as a knockdown of Jose Rodriguez demonstrated, and he's 4-2 this season. And did I say power? His opponent tonight, Yostiel Napoles, has produced 2 knockdowns in wins like this one over Jeremy Hill, and he has a knockout to go along with it. This young man has a right hand to die for. And what about the light heavyweight matchup featuring Philly veteran Jesse Hart, who's having another banner TBL season with 2 4-point stoppage wins. He's showing at the age of 36 he has plenty left in the tank. And tonight he'll resume hostilities with Miami star Isaac Carbonell, who has put 5 wins on the board this season for Miami. And he and Hart have split their previous 4 meetings together. Can't get any closer than that.
Those matchups, the rankings, you talk about it, they are fantastic. The lightweights, and also can't forget about the heavyweights, that both teams have really, really good sides. Now let's go inside to our third member of our team, Amelia Moore. Amelia, I know it's getting loud, and I know these two teams are getting louder. How's the vibe inside?
Oh my gosh, it's electric. We have the arena here is filling up. It's going to be a crazy showdown tonight. And I have to just mention, tonight we get to witness the most dangerous featherweights in Team Boxing League. We have Philadelphia Smoke's Rasheem Brown. He is ranked number 1 at 126 pounds. This is a sharp southpaw with some of the slickest head and footwork that we get to witness. And right behind him, ranked number 2, is Miami Assassins' Victor Abreu, who comes in with presence, pressure, and power in his own right. And so tonight they will meet at rounds 2 and 23 in a matchup that could be the most electrifying of tonight.
And could it be a preview of Mega Brawl? Who knows? Amelia Moore will be our ringside reporter. He'll check it in with her all night long. Coming up, though, we will see the teams coming out. We talked about the light heavyweight, the featherweight, and the lightweight division. Oh, and the women's are also stacked. Week number 8 closing out in Philly with the Smoke and Assassins trying to stay undefeated on Team Boxing League. Team Boxing League is brought to you by Balance of Nature. In boxing, consistency beats intensity, and Balance of Nature supplements help you stay consistent with ingredients of whole foods you can easily slot into your daily routine. Go to balanceofnature.com, use the code TEAM, and start today. Two undefeated squads have excellent coaches who lead the way. Amelia Moore caught up with both coaches moments ago.
The matchup tonight against Rasheem Brown and Victor Abreu. Rasheem right now is #1 at his weight class at featherweight, and Victor Abreu coming in at #2. It's going to be a clash there. Two very different styles. Rasheem Brown's very flashy. Victor Abreu is very explosive. Thoughts on the outcome of that matchup?
Personally, I don't think it's going to be a close fight, but because stylistically, Abreu is a pressure fighter and Sheen's a clean boxer. You can't catch what you can't hit. You can't hit what you can't catch. So I think that's a guaranteed 2 points for Philly.
I want to ask you about the matchup between Napoles and Hernandez. Napoles right now is the #1 athlete in all of TBL with points leading. So that matchup has set the stage to be incredible.
Yeah. Angel's a great fighter, showed it, and Napoles continues to show it. So I think it's just smarts, I think Josiel has just a little bit better IQ in the ring for those 3 minutes, and that's what it's going to come down to. Any of them can get caught, so we got to be careful on both sides, not just my side. So it's going to be an exciting fight. Definitely probably the one to watch.
Herman reserved. Bob Kane and Philly fired up. Let's go to our ring announcer for tonight, looking dapper as always. That's Ray Flores.
Welcome to the next chapter of non-stop high-impact action. This is Team Boxing League, where every round matters and every fighter leaves it all inside the ring. You can catch each moment of TBL season airing live on MSG Networks, along with Envoy TV, with Spanish language coverage available on Estrella TV. Welcome to Harrah's Casino here in Philadelphia, PA, for tonight's Week 8 meeting between the visiting Miami Assassins and your hometown Philadelphia Smoke. Both teams are undefeated. As we say in prize fighting, someone so it's got to go. We would like to thank the Pennsylvania Athletic Commission Chairman Rudy Battle for hosting tonight's event. We'd also like to thank our fine sponsors, Climax Moonshine Fire number 32, Balance of Nature, Serenity Springs Recovery Center, and HotelPlanner.com. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the undefeated Miami Assassins.
As always the case in Team Boxing League, they come out together. Herman Caicedo, who's an excellent trainer in South Florida, leading the squad that's 4-0. And you see the season debut on their roster, only one fighter, with Napoles, Estela, and Abreu. Of course, a heavy South Florida influence with Dominican and Cuban fighters.
And so many of these fighters on this roster, young men have emerged this year, Beto, right? They kind of came of age, and we're seeing them really become excellent fighters in front of our eyes.
The head coach of the Miami Assassins, esteemed trainer, Herman Caicedo. Here is the starting lineup for Miami. Bantamweight, Jonathan Rafiq. Featherweight, Victor Abreu. Featherweight, Samantha Sosa. Former Olympian and WBA IPO featherweight champion. Lightweight, Claudio the Matrix Monero. Welterweight, Darius the Hard Jackson. Super welterweight, Yoelis Molina. Middleweight, Giovanni Estella. Heavyweight, Eric Ross. Featherweight, Samantha Ginnathan. Lightweight, Yostiel Napoles. Super lightweight, Sofia Ferreira. Esky, the Monster Gonzalez. And heavyweight, Alonso Neal. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the unblemished and perfect, your hometown, Philly Smoke.
Bob Kane's squad also undefeated, and again, seasoned fighter, only a couple making their debut. And you have veterans like Hart and Suttles always helps, and Ellis is undefeated in TBL action, which you love to see. No nonsense, and Bob Kane, that interview with Amelia, yeah, he's not holding anything back.
Gee, it'd be nice if we could just get an opinion out of Bob.
One time.
The head coach of the Philly Smoke, renowned trainer Bob Kane. Here is the starting lineup for Philly. Silver medalist at the National Championships, Featherweight Lissandra Contreras. Featherweight Rashid Sugar Sheen Brown. Multi-time national champion and 2020 U.S. Olympian, Featherweight Shaquilla Ellis. Lightweight Cisco Kid Rodriguez. Welterweight Steve Showboat Cunningham Jr. Super welterweight Henry Cedeno. Middleweight Jason Moreno. New York Golden Gloves champion heavyweight Concha Dumpling Nathan. Three-time Pennsylvania State champion and Honduran Olympic team member, featherweight Maria Antunes. Lightweight Angel, the chosen one, Hernandez. Multi-time national champion and Team USA member and Olympic trialist, super lightweight Stasia, the natural Suttles. Welterweight Isaiah Giladu Johnson. Super middleweight Zaire Jefferson. Former USBA, NABO, and NABF champion. Light heavyweight Jesse Hardware Hartz. Former two-time champion of the world, Cruiserweight Steve USS Cunningham Sr. And heavyweight Stephen Williams. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here in Philadelphia, we ask that you all please rise, if you're able to, for the singing of our national anthem being performed tonight by renowned vocalist Angie DeMilo.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, o'er the ramparts we watch, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets revved clear, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Angie DeMilo with the singing of our national anthem. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to begin the launch rounds between Philadelphia and Miami. TBL fans, make some noise 118 pounds for Miami, it is Janat Rafik. For Philadelphia, Alessandra Contreras.
As we get ready to go, Team Boxing League, 8 launch rounds, 8 middle rounds, and 8 money rounds. You're going to get 24 action-packed rounds, and fighters are able to fight twice in an evening. It's all up to the coaches to decide who they're going to go against. And here we're going to go with the women to start off. Janat Rafik, who was born in Baghdad, Iraq, representing the Miami Assassins, 1-0 in TBL action. She's in the gray trunks, taking on the Philadelphia Smoke's Alessandra Contreras. Contreras, 3-1 in TBL action, was born in the Dominican Republic. And now, as we've seen all weekend long, when the women set the tempo strong for you, it usually means a good thing.
Yeah, it really does. And Contreras, as you see her information there, is off to a good start. You know, it's her debut season. She's 3-1. She's on a 3-round win streak. And you mentioned Rafika, just a 1 fight against Smoke, Bo Gwyn, and she won a split decision. So 2 women that are relatively new to team boxing.
And if you're watching for the first time, Team Boxing League, a different scoring system. You get a point for winning the round. You get a knockdown, you get a point. And if you get a knockdown but don't win the round, you still get that point. As Contreras goes down. Oh no, Contreras knocks down Rafik with the right hand. And the action right away from Contreras. You're talking about this, Al. She's strong.
Nice overhand right, and Rafik just early with a lot.
Attacking over and down again, and it is a KO for the Philadelphia Smoke. 4 big points.
What a beginning for the Smoke, and their bench excited as you would expect them to be. And they're checking, of course, on Rafik, but Alessandra Contreras, who now has 4 wins this season, so very impressive, with a big display of power here. That right hand, the first one sent Rafik down, and she was in all kinds of trouble. And she had so much time left in the round, it was going to be hard for her to get through it. And the right hand again would make itself known, and really good body work as well.
And that's what ended it right there. Good stoppage. And if you get a KO in TBL, you get 4 points.
The winner of round 1 at 1 minute 16 seconds by knockout. 4 points going to Philadelphia's Alessandra Contreras.
Well, maybe that's why Bob Kane in Philadelphia was so confident when they interviewed with Amelia.
Round 2 at Featherweight, Miami, Victor Abreu. Philadelphia, Rasheed Brown.
Rasheed Brown, an excellent fighter. 37-4 in TBL action. The 27-year-old southpaw from Philly representing his team. Amelia Moore, you just saw that KO. Philly must be buzzing.
Crowd's going absolutely insane. The energy just went through the roof, Beto. I mean, can we start the event out with anything better? It literally is happening right in front of me. So, yeah, a beautiful overhand right. And then, man, Alessandra just came back. Contreras came back with very assertive, very well-placed body shots. And the power just overcame Rafik.
TBL stats is where you want to go to keep up to date with how the fighters are doing. And now this is different from when in individual boxing, because now you see your teammate get knocked out. And if you're Miami, you can't just think about one punch and try to tie it up. You have to just bank some rounds.
Yeah, you have to get some back again. And I think for Abreu, who's a very aggressive fighter, he's going to want to do what he always does, if he can. Obviously, Brown, he's a very stylish boxer. He's good defensively, and he will use a lot of his rings. So that's an issue for sure for Abreu, but he wants to get in there and see if he can work the body and the head.
Rasheed Brown, in the last time outing, he took 2 rounds from Ray Robinson. It was in early May. Very nice technical fighter from Philadelphia in the purple.
Both these men have had great seasons. 7-1 for Brown and 6-1 for Abreu, and they've just both been so consistent.
Abreu's only lost one round. That was in March against Nico Hernandez, and after that he's been on a roll.
Brown using the jab very effectively here.
You see that graphic on the top left corner, the round to watch for Al Bernstein. Al, you were fired up for this one.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting stylistic matchup. And so far, between the two, Brown has used his style a little bit better because he's kept Abreu at bay.
And these two will go at it again in the money round, round number 23 to be exact. We've seen this weekend when they know they're going to see him in the money rounds, they save a little bit early on it. Amelia.
Yeah, I mean, to Al's point, Rasheem Brown's done a really great job using that jab to be able to break up the tempo of Abreu. And, that's what it's for. The jab is 70% of our game when you're in the ring. And being able to stop that momentum and break up that rhythm he's doing it very skilled.
Yeah, and he doesn't just throw one. He doubles and triples the jab. And now this is where Abreu wants him, on the ropes, but they're having a hard time doing good work there. See the frustration on Abreu's face, knowing that he just couldn't get things going offensively.
TBO fans, the winner of round 2 by way of unanimous decision. From the Philadelphia Smock, Rasheem Brown. Round 3 at featherweight for Miami, Samantha Sosa. From Philadelphia, Shaquilla Ellis.
The most impressive fighter you'll see in TBL, Shaquilla Ellis, undefeated 23-0, the U.S. Olympic team. Younger sister Rashidi Ellis and Ronald Ellis out of Boston. And Al, you see her name and you're, oh wow.
Yeah, well, and Samantha Sosa, who is a newcomer, this is her first year. She's 2-2 this season. She's improved to every outing. But now, as you look at Shaquilla Ellis, the longest tenured undefeated fighter in the TBL, which is extraordinary. And how about the closest she's come to a loss? She had one split decision win. So that's an indication of how dominant she's been. And if you're Philadelphia right now, you're looking at this matchup saying, gee, we're up by 5, and now we've got Ellis going in here against a boxer that doesn't have a ton of experience, pro or TBL.
And you give her a fighter in Rashida, who has been around the block in that split decision you're talking about, Al, was in April against Flo Britos. And Flo's a tough fighter. They went back and forth. But Shaquilla Ellis, since season 1, has been part of TBL, been around, and just impressive with what she does. And Amelia, you know her very well, right?
Many countries, and had the opportunity. I was her Olympic alternate, some of the top talent in the U.S. for several years running. So she's been a teammate, a competitor, and a good friend for years and years now.
What countries did you visit with her?
Oh my gosh, Germany, Istanbul, Honduras, Colombia, Ecuador, Germany, Spain.
Philadelphia now.
Philadelphia, the country of Philly.
And it feels like that tonight, Al.
Yeah, Samantha Sosa, I said she's been improving every fight, and she's really showing that here tonight. She is not in awe of this situation. She's done some pretty good offensive work. Ellis has kept her at bay, but Sosa doesn't mind fighting at range. And Sosa's landed a couple of good right hands, and she's showing that, you know, as a youngster in this sport, at 22, a former Florida Golden Gloves champion, you know, she is showing the growth that she has made in TBL.
But there's levels to it, and there you see Ellis flish that jab, just doing what she wants at will.
Yeah, the jab has been, for Ellis, has been what has probably mostly controlled this match. Sosa did some good work earlier in the round. Once we hit the halfway mark, Ellis picked things up a little bit.
And they'll go at it again in round number 19 of the money rounds. Good exchange, good back and forth. Sosa not backing down. You love to see that.
She is not awed by the moment, and you know, that's a demonstration of, I think, what we've seen in her growth. Obviously, Ellis did a good job here. There's the jab and the straight right by Ellis, and then here's where they got where they had that really good exchange. The jab of Ellis was such a big factor. And Sosa occasionally sneaking in those right hands and landing some hooks, and Ellis as well. That was a fun round.
Yes, it was.
TBL fans, the winner of round 3 by way of unanimous decision. From the Philadelphia Smoke, Shaquilla Ellis. Round 4 at lightweight. Miami, Claudio Marrero. Philadelphia, Francisco Rodriguez.
Marrero, the Dominican, now living in Miami. Rodriguez, born in Atlantic City, New Jersey. He made some good bones for himself in the TBL action. Rodriguez has the tail tied up with the tape behind him.
You know, Rodriguez has had a kind of an up and down season. He's 1-3. Marrero's 2-6 this year, so he's on a 4th round losing streak. So he really wants to get off that, and he needs to for his team, obviously, to try and get them back in this contest.
Philly up 6-0. And here in the 4th round, let's go ringside with Amelia, who has a special guest.
Jesse Hart, you are without a doubt the captain of the Philly Smoke tonight. The energy is incredible in the arena tonight. Kind of talk to me about what exactly kind of went down between you and Estella. You guys had a conversation earlier.
Well, I had a conversation with the team in the back. I said, let's show the world that we're the best team that the TBL has. Let's show the world why we're #1. I mean, they got these guys over us. That's a chip on our shoulder. And I said, yo, we coming out the gate blazing, guns blazing every time. There's no reason why we should lose to these guys. We got the best talent in the world, and let's show that tonight. And they took it to heart.
I mean, Lissandra, round 1, came out explosive, and she set the tone for the night right off the rip.
She did. Yes, she did. It was beautiful. My team is really, really ready for this. We was in shape. In the gym, I was talking about this all last week after we came back from Atlanta. I said, let's show the world why we're the best team in this league. You know, everybody is fighting good. Everybody fighting good.
The action is heating up in the round.
We look forward to seeing you earlier.
Jesse Hart, we'll see him in round number 14. We're going back and forth. The referee decided to just jump in, Al.
Yeah, that was an odd moment. Claudio Marrero, who of course is a veteran professional who's fought at the highest level in several weight classes, has a 28-5 pro record. I mentioned he comes in here not having done well lately in the TBL. He's trying to change that. He's come in with a mindset here against Rodriguez, and he's having himself a really good round.
And Marrero lost to Xavier Martinez, Kid Galahad in Sheffield, also the Barclays Center. I think you might have called that one against Tug Niambar.
I did, yeah, and he's fought among the best. He's a 37-year-old who still has, lots of skills and a lot of energy. Rodriguez is coming in off a win over Jeremy Hill, and that was a good win for him. Earlier in the season, he was stopped by Ryan Zapoteka. So it's been an up and down journey for him this season. But he has a lot of experience as well in the TBL.
Miami needs a point. Did Marrero do enough? Or did Rodriguez do enough to extend the Philly lead?
Yeah, Marrero got off to a big start in this round, and I don't know if Rodriguez did enough in the latter part to change that. We'll see.
In Miami, you just need to start banking some rounds.
Yeah.
Some highlights are out.
Yeah, I'm sure that, this was where Marrero came out smoking at the beginning and very busy with his hands, and not everything getting in, but a number of punches did.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 4 by unanimous decision. From the Miami Assassins, Claudio Moreno.
And that's what they needed. Miami needed just to get one, get on the boat.
Miami won.
They're now down 6-1 because of that woman right there, Lysandra Contreras, with the big KO. 4 big points for Philadelphia to start the night. They're up 6-1. Week 8 of Team Boxing League in the hometown squad. The Philadelphia Smoke off to a hot start. They're up 6-1 over the Miami Assassins. Let's keep the action going. Here's ring announcer Ray Flores.
Round 5 at welterweight. For Miami, Darius Jackson. Philadelphia, Steve Cunningham Jr.
This is going to be a real good one. I'm looking forward to this. The Hawk, Darius Jackson. There you see the 22-year-old was part of the Haitian national team. He was going to go to Paris, but the team was unable to make it. But he represented Haiti, where his parents are from Orlando. He's been around TBL for a few seasons. Back when Orlando had a squad, then he was part of New York's championship squad last year. Dedicated fighter. And Steve Cunningham Jr., this is a real good stylistic matchup. And looking at Darius Jackson, 4th season as TBL, he's had 1 stoppage, and he comes out aggressive, and that's exactly what these two are doing, going after each other.
Yeah, Jackson is on a good run here, and these two, even though now Jackson's been in the TBL longer, obviously, as you suggested, but they've never faced each other before, and so this is a getting to know each other around here. In his last fight, Cunningham got a split decision win over Eamon Mitchell, very tough fighter.
Cunningham, 23 years old. We'll see his father later on outside of TBL. Cunningham 3-0 with 2 stoppages. Where the Hawk is 10-0 with 7 stoppages, including his last fight, where he went to the Dominican Republic in March and got a first-round KO.
Jackson is always busy, and man, he's landing some nice right hooks. I think that last right hook might have stunned Cunningham a little bit.
Yeah, Cunningham knees buckled a bit. Jackson sensing something. This is a very evenly matched 5th round.
Yeah, Jackson has, you know, I think taken the play away from Cunningham for the most part in this round, but Cunningham's, I think he's looking for a way to land one punch that might change the tenor of this round a little bit, but he's not been able to do that, and Jackson's kept him on the end of those punches.
We're at the welterweight division. Make sure you go to tblstats.com to see how these fighters are in the rankings. Both very young fighters. Easy to see them maybe matching up down the road with a 10-round matchup.
Yeah, both young, 23 for Cunningham, 22 for Jackson, and you're right. That's the kind of matchup you could see, and we're seeing it here in the TBL, and we may well see it again this season. Might see it in the Mega Brawl.
Absolutely. Could this be a preview of the Mega Brawl? The way things are going right now, Philadelphia definitely sending a signal to everybody in the league of how strong they started tonight.
Jackson is doing, I think, what he needs to do in this match by mostly keeping Cunningham at bay. Jackson allowed the geography of the ring to help Cunningham. He switches to righty, which is interesting. Usually he's lefty.
Yeah, new wrinkle, good body shot by Cunningham.
In the last 40 seconds or so, I think Jackson allowed it to become a more Cunningham-friendly fight, but we'll see if that was enough. And that's some of the action early in the round here where Jackson was kind of teeing off. Overhand right gets in by Cunningham, but for the most part, it was Jackson doing a lot of the big work, and the right hook was a big weapon for him during the course of that time. And at the end of the round, that was where the distance got shortened between them, and Steve Cunningham Jr. was able to do a little bit more offensively.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of round 5 by unanimous decision from Miami, Darius Jackson. Round 6 at super welterweight, Miami, Yoelis Molina, Philadelphia, Henry Cedeno.
Miami back-to-back rounds, exactly what they needed. Henry Cedeno, the Dominican Republic, now living in Pennsylvania. 19-5, the southpaw in the gray of the Miami Assassins. I'm sorry, Molina's in the gray of the Miami Assassins. Cedeno's in the purple of the Philadelphia Smoke.
And Cedeno making his, well, there's the information on Molina, who is on a 4-fight win streak here, and he beat tough Jaye Brown twice in his last outing, which was a really good night's work for him.
Molina from Cuba, now living in Nashville, 11-2. Excellent addition to the Miami squad, and they need him right now.
You know, outside of TBL as a pro, he's had 4 straight first-round knockouts.
Yes.
So he'd like to repeat that here in TBL.
That's after losing his pro debut. He got knocked out in his pro debut in Nashville, and he turned it around. It was debut against debut. And this is why you go to those early fights, you never know what you're going to see.
Yeah, I announced a couple of those on
did you?
The Country Box show in Nashville, and he's shown himself to be quite the offensive fighter, and he's doing it right now against Cedeno, although Cedeno landed a nice right hand.
Yeah, moving Molina back, and Cedeno's found a home for that overhand right. Now he's holding and punching. Referee jumping in there to separate him.
Season 4 debut for Cedeno, who obviously, as you alluded to, has that really good TBL record. So he's a veteran of this, and he understands the concept.
Cedeno outside of TBL, 16-0, 12 stoppages. So both fighters have some power. Cuba-Dominican Republic matchup as we approach a minute to go in round number 6.
We've seen a couple of those this weekend.
Yeah, that's the thing about TBL too. It's very international. We have Cuba, Dominican. Yesterday we had Uruguay. Of course, Mexico represented. The Republic of Georgia, Bosnia.
You know, Cedeno's a very good body puncher, and there is that left hook downstairs. When he gets himself in position, he's been able to do that against Jackson, but Jackson's movement has prevented some of that. Very competitive round, though.
Very good. Toe-to-toe, back and forth, middle of the ring. Good shot landed by Cedeno. This is going to be a tough one for the judges. Both fighters have thrown excellent punches, landing with effectiveness. And they close out their round. Big smile of respect between the two.
Well, that was an intriguing round because that man, Molina, probably controlled the beginning portion of the round. He came out pretty strong, and we see there the jab, and they exchange punches there. But Cedeno was able to get that right hand in, as that one did on several occasions, and you referenced it. And then there's Molina coming back with straight left. They both got some things done offensively. The question is, who got more done?
TBL the winner of round 6 by split decision. From Miami, Yoelisa Molina. The score, Philadelphia 6, Miami 3. Round 7 at middleweight. For Miami, Giovanni Estela. Philadelphia, Jason Moreno.
Jason Moreno, born in Newark, now living in Philly. A 25-year-old. Trying to get Philly back on the side because Miami has won the last 3 rounds. Boy, did they ever need them after going down 4-up in the first round.
This is a fascinating matchup. Estela is doing very well this season. He's 4-1. But Moreno is on a 10-round winning streak in the TBL. This is season 4 debut. So each man in his own way comes in with momentum.
And for Estela, the loss that he had was against Rashidi Ellis. And there you see the points in the middleweight division. Estela and Rashidi up on top. TBLstats.com is where you want to go to keep up to date.
Yeah, Stella's got those points. He produced a knockout win over Deshaun Prater earlier in the season. That's what helped push that point total up along with the other victories.
Estela from Orlando, Florida, representing the Miami team. Done a lot of fights at that Caribe Royale. Built up his record, then he went across to Japan and he took on Irishman Aaron McKenna, top contender. He got stopped for his first loss.
McKenna's a good fighter.
Yes, he is. The silencer. I've never heard him speak one word. And I've interviewed him many times. Hey, he used to live in LA, trained with Freddie Roach, and then went back to Ireland during COVID. And that's what Estela, where this is where TBL is great for a young fighter like this. He has that record that's good, but it's a little too dangerous for a prospect. And then he's not quite in the rankings. This keeps him active and busy.
Absolutely, and honing his skills.
That too, because you're taking on Rashidi Ellis, you're taking on Jason Moreno.
Yeah, these are top fighters. Estela likes to keep distance and has done that to an extent, but Moreno's gotten on the inside enough to throw those overhand rights.
That's a slip, as both fighters going wild right now. Referee jumping right on it. Estela being really winging his punches out.
Yeah, I've seen, he was in his recent fights a little more economical with his punch, but also a little straighter with his punches than he's been tonight. Moreno's last pro fight was March 27th, not that long ago, a split draw with Jose Rodriguez. So he's been in action, even though he hasn't. He's just starting this season with the TBL. There's the Estela right hand, which is a good one when he can get it in.
This is the only time we'll see these fighters, as they're scheduled for swing dot if needed later on tonight. 30 seconds to go in round number 7.
I got it. I'm going.
Make sure you download the TBL app and also follow us on Instagram for great behind-the-scenes coverage and immediate results posted by our fantastic social media team led by Jaden. Good flurry from Estella.
Yeah, that's what he's capable of, a good hand speed mixed in the right hand. All you need to know about him is that on May 9th, he beat Rashidi Ellis. And Ellis had only lost 3 of his previous 32 fights in team boxing. So that was quite a feat for that young man. Did his comeback, Estella's comeback in this round, come at a propitious moment, and was it enough? Some good work. There's the body work by Moreno, which he's capable of doing. And that was a slip right there, not caused by a punch. Very close round.
TBL fans, the winner of round 7 by split decision. From the Miami Assassin, Giovanni Estella. The score, Philadelphia 6, Miami 4. Our final launch round, round 8 at heavyweight. Miami, Eric Ross. Philadelphia, Kanja Nathan.
Heavyweight action. One punch can change things around, especially with Kanja Nathan in there. And Miami did exactly what you said, Al. They need to just stay calm, bank some rounds. They've won the last 4, and they're back in this mix after having Janat Rafiq getting knocked out in the opening round and going down 4-0. Kanja Nathan in the purple for the Philadelphia Smoke. A lot of power in those hands. And Eric Ross.
Eric Ross is undefeated in the TBL at 4-0. This is his season 4 debut, and he has had 2 wins over Kanja Nathan. Prior to this, that was last season, so he would like to think he could repeat that. We'll see.
Ross, the 31-year-old from Chicago. Yes, he was a basketball player, 6'7". But with the heavyweight, you could start later in your career.
Yes.
Flyweight, you're done by 25. Heavyweight, you can start at 25. Was that Kendall Gill, right? Chicago?
Yeah, yes, exactly, yeah. Kendall Gill, perfect example.
He was a good boxer.
Yes, he was. Kanja Nathan had a great brawl with Dusan Velitic at the beginning of the season that was so much fun. He's almost always in great fights.
Yeah, earlier this year, he and Kai Brooks went back and forth. And Kanja's going to stand there. He'll trade with you. It's not hard to find him.
Ross's 2 previous unanimous decisions over him, he fashioned it by being at distance and using the jab effectively and keeping Nathan at bay. This is one of the few heavyweight fights we've had where we haven't seen as much action from them. And a lot of fencing in this heavyweight matchup. And again, it's kind of uncharacteristic of what we've seen from the heavyweights. But for Ross's part, you know, I don't think he minds that so much because he's got that height and reach advantage, and what might land would more likely come from him.
The Ant-Man in the YouTube chat says Ross is going to win off activity, right? Not much, but just enough.
Yeah, he's been a little bit busier than Kanja Nathan.
And the Osundario brothers are in the chat. Dallas with the win last night.
Very good.
We love it when the fighters in TBL are watching with us.
Engaged in this whole process. And that's what makes it fun.
Absolutely.
The team concept and them rooting.
That one left me wanting some action. And Eric Ross will be back in round 22. At that time, though, he'll take on Steven Williams.
TBL fans, the winner of round 8 by unanimous decision. From Miami, Eric Ross.
So
At the
Eric
end of the
Ross
launch rounds,
completes
Philadelphia
a
leads by
5-fight run of victories for Miami as they climb back into this after a very difficult start. And we can't wait to see what's ahead tonight. And we can't wait to see what's ahead for the TBL. Here's Beto to tell you about it.
Thanks, Al. Having a lot of fun, aren't we? The battle of undefeated teams is a good one. And next week, week number 9, Team Boxing League is going to be on the road and is going to get going May 22nd. Back in the Lone Star State, the Houston Hitmen, fresh off their first win since 2024, take on a very solid San Antonio Sniper squad. Then we go to Nashville as a smash, take on the Boston Butchers. And finally, to cap off the weekend, May 24th, we're in LA as the LA Elite take on Charles Pugh and the Phoenix Fury. The home of 24 3-minute rounds comes your way next week, only on Team Boxing League. When you're in Philly, you got to go see the Rocky statue, get inspired. Maybe that's what Miami got as they fought back, and they're down by 1, 6-5 to the Philadelphia Smoke. 2 undefeated teams going at it in week 8 of Team Boxing League. Beth Duran alongside Al Bernstein. Al, it started off hot for Philly. We didn't expect a knockout that early, but we got one. And next, you know, everything's on the Smoke side.
It was, and you told them the way to get back into this match, and they listened to you. String together a bunch of wins, which were only 1-point wins, but it got them right back into the hunt.
So that's what happened. So Philadelphia came out hot, Miami chipping away, and at the end of the launch round, Philly is up by 1, 6-5.
And in round 1, that hot start for the Philly Smoke with Lissandra Contreras just going after Rafiq, and I mean that overhand right center down so early in the round that it was going to be very difficult for her to get through the rest of the round. And then the right hand returned, and those good body shots. The body shot really sent her down again, created a 4-point win to get Philly off to a big start. And then in round 5, Darius Jackson said, we got to start taking some momentum back here. He was one of the run of 5 straight wins for Miami in a battle of left-handers. And even though Steve Cunningham got some good work done later in the round, it was Jackson who came away with the win, and that helped propel Miami to coming back to within 1 point.
And Miami won the last 5 rounds in the launch round. So at the end of the launch rounds, it's 6-5 Philly. Time now for the middle rounds. The momentum's on the side of the Assassins, and their coach Herman Caicedo was very calm about it. Philly coach Bob Kane was like, oh, this isn't even close. We're going to win. We're going to beat them. We're going to smoke them. But now we get to the middle round. Coaching is very important. Which is the round to watch in the middle one?
Well, I'm going to go with round 14. It features a couple of veterans, Jesse Hart, who we heard from earlier with Emilia, and Isaac Carbonell. Now, they've fought 4 times before, and they've split those meetings 2-2. So we have 2 fighters who couldn't be more evenly matched.
All right, let's go back ringside. Ray Flores is ready to bring out round number 9.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to begin the middle rounds between the Miami Assassins and Philadelphia Smoke. Round 9 at Featherweight. Miami, Samantha Ginathan. Philadelphia, Maria Antunes.
Maria Antunes from Honduras, now living in Pennsylvania.
And she was a member of the Honduras Olympic team. She also played soccer for their national team, so she's a well-rounded athlete. And this is her debut season for the TBL, and she is 2-2. Ginathan is 3-1 this year. She comes in off a May 9th loss to Brandy Robinson. Robinson's been looking very good in his last 2 fights, so Ginathan couldn't quite get it done against her, but she's a very solid southpaw.
Ginathan, the taller fighter from Las Cruces, New Mexico. I think New Mexico, for me, I almost thinking Johnny Tapia.
Yeah.
Maybe that local recipe to Johnny Tapia out of Albuquerque, but you know New Mexico fighter always tough.
Yeah, that's for sure. He and Danny Romero with that great rivalry.
Red.
Johnny Tapia, an amazing fighter.
It's interesting that the coaches decided to go with the women to lead off the middle rounds, too.
Yeah, and this one shapes up as a very interesting matchup. It's one where you could see either side coming out a victor. Very, Ginathan, you know, she's got a slightly sub-500 record in overall in TBL, but she's got a lot of experience. And I mentioned she's 3.
Oh, there's that big left. You talk about the experience. Samantha Ginathan just staring into the camera after knocking down Maria Antunes. Antunes, I don't think she's recovered, and Ginathan jumping right on her. A lot of time left, 1:30 to go in the round, and the referee's gonna separate them. I think we're stopping it.
Not known as a giant puncher, but boy, she got one in there, didn't she?
She has 0 stoppages in TBL, and she's just attacking Maria Antunes. Antunes breathing heavy.
And there's over a minute left to go here, so to add to that 2-point win, Ginathan would like to make it a 4-point win.
Ginathan, shouldn't she just jump on her?
Yeah, I mean, she's trying, but, you know,
pushing her down.
Antunes is doing a pretty good job of kind of neutralizing this.
Samantha Ginathan already got the knockdown. Can she finish the round? She's looking at the clock, looking at the screen. She knows what time it is.
Ginathan is landing some nice combinations now. Both the right hook and the straight left have been effective weapons for her. Antunes attacking, she might want to be on her bicycle, just kind of playing this round out.
Antunes trying to survive with 10 seconds to go. Up against the rope. Will she make the bell? She does. 2 big points coming for Miami. What a knockdown by Samantha Ginathan.
Well, a little bit of a surprise. We thought this could be this would be a technical, very close round, but Ginathan, brought out the power. There's the straight left hand, and man, that was a beauty. She left herself just open for that straight shot. Kenneth looks in the camera and says, yeah, I knew that was going to happen.
That's how you play to the cameras right there. Take notes, everybody.
TBL fans, the winner of round 9 by unanimous decision. 2 points going to Miami's Samantha Guillotine. The score, Miami 7, Philadelphia 6. Round 10 at lightweight. Miami, Yostiel Napoles. Philadelphia, Angel Hernandez.
And for the first time tonight, Miami has the lead.
And this is a round we're really looking forward to. They're going to do it again later in this evening. And Yostiel Napoles, 7-1 this season. He's had, you know, knockdowns, a knockout. And Angela Hernandez, a 23-year-old who is 4-2 this season, but he is an exciting offensive fighter, and wouldn't be shocking to see somebody go down in this round.
Yeah, we'll see them again in the money. Actually, you know what? They're scheduled for the money round in round number 20, and there you see the TBL stats with Napoles on top with 11 points in the lightweight division. Amelia Moore, we've seen 2 knockdowns tonight. A KO for Philly, now Miami getting the knockdown. Miami, the momentum on their side.
I mean, as they said before, Herman had said, we're not going to leave it in the hand of the judges. We want to make it definitive. This round is so exciting. These 2 athletes have the fastest fast twitch reaction I think we may see tonight. I mean, the trades between the 2, capitalizing as soon as one combination is over, is beautiful.
You're really looking forward to this one now. I think you see because the speed of Angel Hernandez and Napoles are right there with them.
Yeah, they both have great hand speed, which Amelia kind of alluded to. And the right hand of Napoles has just been a powerful punch during the course of this season of TBL. And has made him kind of one of the more exciting fighters in general in the league.
He's a tall fighter for the division at 5'8", 5'11", the Cuban. He's 25 years old. He does have a stoppage.
Yeah, against Traquan Pettis, and he's knocked down Malik Lark, knocked down Jeremy Hill. Yep. So there's a lot of power there. And Hernandez himself has a really good left hook.
He also has a KO.
Yes.
Both of them landing. And getting rough. Hernandez, I don't want to say he's scrappy, but he has that junkyard dog attitude about him. He's usually a shorter fighter in the division. He's looking right at you. They're very talented, both of these fighters.
Hernandez is trying to counter that right. He's kind of waiting on that right hand by Napoles. He knows it's coming, and he's trying to counter when Napoles throws it. There he did, but he took the right hand.
Napoles landing the right hand, his footwork able to slip punches. And Napoles not your traditional Cuban slick get out guy. He'll trade with you.
Yes.
I love that attitude. It's perfect for TBL.
And that has helped him in this one-round format because he's gotten enough done offensively in almost every time to win.
Ty Bernier in the YouTube chat says, I think Angel's finding the wrong fight this round. Could it be?
Well, he's trying to get on the inside, I think, and land some big shots, but he's also trying to counter what Napoles is doing. But there's that right hand by Napoles, and a counter comes back on him from Hernandez. So that was kind of the round in microcosm.
Yep.
And there's where these both men were throwing quick shots designed to do some damage. Not everything landed. Both men actually did a pretty good job of slipping a lot of the big power punches that their opponent was throwing. But some got through, like those right hands by Napoles. And a lot of awkward action like that as well.
TBL fans, the winner of round 10 by way of unanimous decision. From the Miami Assassins, Yostiel Napoles. The score, Miami 8, Philadelphia 6. Round 11 at super lightweight. Miami, Sophia Veretti. Philadelphia, Stasia Suttles.
Miami has won the last 7 rounds.
And if you're Bob Kane, you're happy to see this woman arrive right at this moment, especially given the fact that in her last outing, something happened to her that seldom happens. It only happened once before against Amelia, our counterpart, where she lost 2 fights on one night, 2 rounds on one night. So she lost last time out against Ariel Davis twice. You see her numbers. She's extraordinary, and she wants to put herself back on the winning track tonight.
Amelia, when you see Stacia, how do you combat her?
I mean, the biggest thing, especially for Reddy right now, is you cannot stay on the line with Stacia. She likes to plant her feet. She likes to have those long, powerful shots that come from the hip and the shoulder. And she likes to have, they're straight, you know? So if you allow her to set up and be flat-footed, she's going to start throwing body shots. She's going to try to walk you down. So the best thing that Veretti's got to do to break that up and not become a punching bag is constantly move and get off the line. Throw, angle, use your defense as offense.
You know, Veretti has gotten better during the course of the season. She's 2-6, but how about this? She's faced a gauntlet. Brianna Carrero twice, Ariel Davis 4 times, Camila Pinato, who she actually ended up beating twice. So she's gotten better, but tonight she's in against another all-timer in TBL.
You know, these punches, Stacio's landed a couple uppercuts. They're coming in 2 shots at a time. Veretti has to have a strong guard. You have to be confident in keeping your hands up.
Veretti trying the right hand, and that's been her best punch we've seen in TBL. She's gotten better on offense as this season has gone on, but not all of those getting there against Suttles. And the Suttles jab is excellent, as it always is.
Yeah, the battle between Suttles and Ariel Davis, you guys were talking about it earlier this month, just back and forth. It was split decision. And
yep.
You're looking at another one. Give me 10 rounds of these 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's for sure. 2 really excellent performers in what might be the best women's division in TBL. And there comes Suttles working the body, the head. Oh!
There she goes down. Stacia Suttles. Exactly what you said, Amelia. You cannot stay on the line with her. Suttles taking advantage. Is she going to beat the count? She does. A lot of time left, and Stacia's going to jump on her. Attacking. Philadelphia Smoke need that stoppage. They already got a point for the knockdown. Can they get 4? Stacia attacking. Final seconds and knocks her out. Stacia Suttles, a big KO for the Philadelphia Smoke. That is the 4th time she's knocked an opponent in TBL.
After the 2 losses to Ariel Davis, which I'm sure did not sit well with Stacia Suttles, you knew she was going to come in here loaded for bear. And that left hook to the body, man, she was gripping that punch constantly during this round, and eventually Veretti just succumbed to it. And then Suttles went back downstairs, which was really smart, in addition to some headshots. But with all, and think about this, those 5 or 6 seconds that Veretti might have lasted could be the difference in this whole contest.
TBL fans, the end comes at 2 minutes, 49 seconds of round 11 for your winner by knockout. 4 points going to Philadelphia, Stacia Suttles. The score, Philadelphia 10, Miami 8. Round 12 at welterweight. Miami Estudi Metivar Suero. Philadelphia Isaiah Johnson.
It's the women carrying the Philadelphia Smoke. Contreras and Suttles with KOs. 8 points for the Philadelphia Smoke because of those stoppages. Again, in Team Boxing League, you get a point for a knockdown, but if you get a KO, you get 4 points, and that puts Philly back on top 10-8 in round number 12.
And Isaiah Johnson's coming in here off on May 10th, a TKO win over DeMichael Harris that created 4 points for Philly. He'd like to repeat that. And, you know, for Suero, his last 2 losses in the TBL, but this season one and in the previous season, both came to tall lefties. Deslan Gainza and Griggy. And so that, you know, this particular style is difficult for him.
And they're coming out action-packed. A steady Suero in the gray of the Miami Assassins. Isaiah Johnson, the purple Philadelphia Smoke. Suero landed overhand right. Moving Johnson back. Undefeated teams to close out week number 8.
And it's going kind of like in a way we thought, right? We didn't know the specific dynamics, but we had a feeling it'd be pretty close at this point. It is.
We appreciate everybody watching on YouTube. Make sure you download the TBO app as well. Follow us on Instagram to get immediate reaction, behind-the-scenes action of what's going on in Philly.
Suero's looking for home for that right hand. And it's just been a little bit out of reach for him against Johnson, but landing a good jab. And every trainer will tell you right-handers sometimes don't use their jab against lefties, which they need to do.
In the middle rounds, if you're new to TBL, you get 8 launch rounds, 8 middle and 8 money. And some fighters will fight twice tonight. Continues to grow, get better every single week. A big audience tonight. We appreciate you hanging out with us on a Sunday evening. And there you see the teammates in the background. The Miami team is just standing up. Forget sitting down and getting your rest. They're on their feet. Wobbled.
Left hand? Oh, no. It's just...
he's just dancing.
He faked everybody out, including us.
Yeah. Suero is elusive.
Yeah, he's got a kind of a herky-jerky, interesting style that also makes him a little hard to hit.
That's the ready Suero. There's a left hand from Johnson.
I think Suero would have liked to be on the inside a little bit more in this fight. Even though he landed some shots from outside, that's a little bit more Johnson's game. Well, Suero's now getting his right hand in a little bit.
That's so sick. This Suero. Johnson was throwing punches and nothing landed in the final 10 seconds.
That's not going to be the easiest round to score.
No, not at all. Miami had won 7 in a row before Station Settles got the KO. Who will get it in round number 12?
TBL fans, the winner of round 12 by split decision. From the Philadelphia Smoke, Isaiah Johnson. Philadelphia leads Miami 11-8.
So Philly at home getting a big KO from Stacia Suttles. And they're on top 11-8. TBL, 2 undefeated teams going at it. Philadelphia is where Team Boxing League is at for week number 8. And the hometown squad, the Smoke, taking a lead of 11-8 against the Miami Assassins. Let's go to Ray Flores for our next round.
Round 13 at super middleweight. Miami, Yusmel Ruiz. Philadelphia, Zaire Jefferson.
Zaire Jefferson, the 26-year-old from Philadelphia. Record 4-2 in TBL. And Yusmel Ruiz, now living in Colorado, was born in Cuba. He's 27-year-old. Let's go inside or ringside with our reporter, Amelia Moore, as a special guest.
All action on you, Shaquilla. Shaquilla, so listen, you are 8-0 now this season, 24-0 in your record, overall record of TBL. Is there anybody that can stop you? I don't think so.
No, and all these girls know that, so all I got to do is, you see I just be popping the jab. I ain't even got to do too much.
we actually talked about that. The commentators are talking about you working the jab, being able to keep that, it's always in your pocket. So another thing to kind of pivot off of, Bob Kane had said that Stacia wasn't feeling well all week, and it's like, how many times have we been in that situation where we don't feel well and yet we perform even better?
It's just all mental at this point. You know you got to step in the ring and show up and show out. Like, mental and heart, that's all you got to have.
And that's it.
Not everybody has their days, honestly.
Yeah, it's the rule of thirds, a good day, a bad day, and the days you got to step up.
When you step in that ring, you better show up and show out. Or you the one that's going to get your ass whooped.
But, yes, thank you so much. We'll see you in the money rounds.
19th bout. Stay tuned.
Show up and show out. That's exactly what you have to do, and there's a reason she's still undefeated in Team Boxing League.
This is a battle of two tall 168-pounders. And sometimes for Yusmel Ruiz, even though he's done very well this season, 5-3, he can be a little economical with his punches and not throw enough. He's been active here tonight, as has Zaire Jefferson, who's in his debut season in TBL. He's 4-2. He's made the most of his time here. He's coming in off 2 wins on May 10th. So both these men have confidence now, and they're both, I think, Ruiz is probably fighting his best during this period TBL-wise. Wow, big right by Ruiz.
Jefferson just trying to hold on, and there's a left and a right from Ruiz. Jefferson in trouble, covering up. Ruiz pounding away, hammering away at Jefferson, who's taking a lot of punishment.
That initial right hand that we referenced, that hurt Jefferson.
Jefferson, mouth wide open, getting caught with hooks. And just trying to hold on as Zaire Jefferson gets connected again with the left hook by Ruiz. Jefferson against the ropes in a lot of trouble. Ruiz combination. Finally, Jefferson pushes him off. How is he still standing, absorbing a lot of punishment? Wow, what a flurry from Ruiz.
This is literally a second-by-second countdown to either a 2-point or 4-point victory that could happen.
Unless Jefferson can stay on his feet. Final seconds of the round. Excellent round for Yusmel Ruiz of the Miami Assassins.
The Ruiz kind of backed up the last 20 seconds of that round at a moment when there was some points on the table. That was intriguing.
Could he have maybe punched himself out?
Possibly. Could have been a little tired. And for Zaire Jefferson, he showed a lot of grit and determination. That was that first right hand that hurt Jefferson. And then he started holding on. And from that point on, that was, not that far into the round. So he had a lot of time still to get through. And there were a couple times where it looked like he was going to go down. And Ruiz was very busy and was looking maybe to create a stoppage on the ropes, but couldn't quite do it.
Vex Patel, the YouTube chat, says Jefferson has a chin.
13 by unanimous decision. From the Miami Assassins, Yusmel Ruiz. Philadelphia leads Miami 11-9. Round 14 at light heavyweight. Miami, Isaac Carbonell. Philadelphia, Jesse Hart.
By Jefferson staying on his feet and only conceding the 1 point, that's a huge advantage for the Philadelphia Smoke.
Yeah, we may look back at that later on and say that could have been a difference in this match. These two men faced each other 4 times, as we mentioned. They've split the 2, and we're going to see who could break the tie now.
Philadelphia with a 2-point lead. Jesse Hart, the veteran, the leader of this Smoke squad. He was telling me that earlier. He got the team together, rallied them, gave them that motivational talk, saying that they're the best team in the league. So Jesse feels that he's leading the way in the light heavyweight division with +9 points. TBLstats.com.
Yeah, he's had 2 4-point wins. Beat Randy Slanger earlier in week 1, actually, and then in week 7 he knocked out Deandra Pettis. So Hart has been putting some big scores out there, but Carbonell's 5-1 this season, so he's been very consistent.
Amelia sitting ringside. What do you see there, Amelia?
We've got Bob Kane. He's just chirping up just a little bit, telling Jesse to work. But I mean, the action between the two of them is, you know, Jesse's meeting him. Carbonell is exchanging.
Carbonell from Cuba.
Jesse Hart, when he's at his best, is like that. He's active, even at 36. You know, he's going to throw enough punches, and very demonstrative in the ring, and we see that in evidence as well.
And a veteran fighter like Jesse Hart, salty vet, knowing he's only going to go 1 round.
Yes,
that's a different attitude for him.
Very good point, Beto. Really good point.
Jesse, you know, with his experience, he knows when to wrap up. He knows how to run the clock. He knows when he needs to be active. And so, you know, this is an athlete that knows the ring very well.
There was Carbonell with the right hook, which Hart, you know, tried to shake off by clowning a bit. That's a good punch for Carbonell when he can throw it, but we've seen a lot of this where they get tangled up on the inside and it stops the offensive momentum, and more for Carbonell, I think, than Hart.
.30 seconds to go in round number 14. After this, we got the Cruiserweights, Yuneski Gonzalez and Stephen Cunningham Sr. And then the heavyweights to close out the middle round.
Carbonell is just punching with such, I mean, assertive intention. I mean, he's trying to make that if the punch lands, he wants it to count. And Jesse's doing a pretty good job taking those angles, so it's kind of taking the blunt off of it, so it's not coming direct.
Jesse, of course.
To me, the interesting thing about that round is the way Jesse Hart acted. He acted like he won the round throughout the whole round. So whether he did is another question, but everything about his demeanor and what he did was to kind of project that I won this round.
You never know with the judges. You could sway a lot of things.
One of them will break the tie between the two in splitting those 4 fights.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 14 by unanimous decision. From the Philadelphia Smoke, Jesse Hart. The score, Philadelphia 12, Miami 9. Round of 15 at Cruiserweight. Miami, Yuneski Gonzalez. Philadelphia, Steve Cunningham Sr.
Steve Cunningham Sr. Trying to defy Father Time. But he's doing it.
49 years old. Now, if you're a pro like Yuneski Gonzalez and you're 40 years old, did you ever think you'd step in a ring and be 9 years younger than your opponent?
That's a great point for Monstro. Usually he's like, oh, I'm the salty vet, the heel, right?
He's the youngster in this match.
Yeah.
Now, they both share something in common. Both have been beaten this year by Money Powell, who has stepped up to Cruiserweight to help his team and has been a great performer at Cruiserweight. And Yuneski Gonzalez, who has just been a great performer in TBL.
It's the third season in TBL for Yuneski, the Cuban. A couple years ago, Jada, who runs the social media, and I were down in Miami doing interviews with him before the All-Stars. Hey, you guys are, what time's your flight? Well, a couple hours. All right, come on. Just took us around, got us some Cuban food, showed us around. Great personality. Yuneski, El Monstro. Like, why are you doing this? Because it's fun. That's what you hear from a lot of these fighters. Yeah, you're getting paid and you're still active, but it's also fun.
And he has fought at, like Cunningham, of course, a former champion, Cruiserweight champion. Gonzalez has challenged for world titles. Both these men in the boxing outside TBL have done that. Gonzalez getting a lot of offense.
Yes, he is.
And I think
Cunningham's knees buckled in the corner, able to absorb the shot. And Steve, the veteran, of course, knows how to hold on and make it ugly, and how to buy a couple seconds.
Well, Gonzalez has a very good right hand, and he has put it to use in this round for sure. And Steve Cunningham Sr. has had a hard time getting his offense started.
Yeah, Z Long in the chat says, the Cunningham story is so dope. Imagine fighting with your dad. On the same team, not against your dad, against the same team.
It is pretty astonishing. And the two losses to Powell that Cunningham Sr. had was on May 10th, so he's fresh off that. And on May 9th, for Gonzalez, he split with Miguel Teo. So both men, dear veterans, just, performed. And here they are back in the ring again.
And they're scheduled to close out the night.
Yeah.
Round number 24.
So, they're taking on a heavy workload. Good body work a moment ago by Cunningham, as he's kind of gotten himself back in now after being hurt with that right hand by Gonzalez.
Slip.
Cunningham himself did something nobody thought he would ever do. He knocked down Tyson Fury when they
Yes,
fought.
he did.
That was a shocker to the world, even though Fury has been known to go down from time to time.
Yeah, well, that was a younger Fury, too.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Good hook by Gonzalez.
Yeah. And there's Steve. They both slip there. And Monstro keeps on going.
Yuneski Gonzalez throwing punches.
Oh, it's going to rule the knockdown.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
That's bad.
Yeah, that changes the dynamic of this fight in a way, especially right at the end of it. Yeah, Yuneski Gonzalez can scarcely believe it. And
well, you see Steve Cunningham that he was celebrating. He knew, too.
Wow. So we'll take a look at how things went down here. No, there was no...
They're pushing each other down.
They were pushing each other, and that was not a punch, that overhand right that Cunningham threw. That was just a push there. And
wow, that is bad.
That is a key moment in this entire contest, because Gonzalez was likely winning that round.
Not only does Miami lose a point, they lose a knockdown point. And Yuneski doesn't even want to hold the hand of the referee.
The winner of round 15 by unanimous decision. 2 points going to Philadelphia, Steve Cunningham Sr.
Wow. And I don't blame Yuneski for being mad.
That was a specious decision, to say the least, but it goes in the books that way.
Round 16 at heavyweight. Miami, Alonzo Neal. Philadelphia, Steven Williams.
Puts a little pressure on Alonzo Neal, who is in his debut season in TBL, has a 2-1 record. He's coming off a split decision win over Skylar Lacey.
And that was the referee's decision, the knockdown. So you can't go back and say, oh, we're going to check it. There's no replay here.
Yeah, that was a big change because Gonzalez was likely to win that round. And remember, earlier in the round,
3-point swing. Yeah.
He had Cunningham hurt, and we thought Cunningham might go down.
Now a 5-point lead for the Philadelphia Smoke. And if you're Miami, you cannot afford to give away any more rounds.
Yeah, and Williams has had only one fight this season, a loss to Dusan Veletic. That was back in week 1, and now he's back in action tonight.
Alonzo Neal, 6'6". Steve Williams, 6'6". Body work from Neal.
Neal's he is a good body puncher. In fact, he scored a knockout over Max De Silva in one of his recent pro fights with a body punch.
This is the final of the middle rounds. And there'll be some adjustments in the money round. It's been an interesting middle round section.
Boy, has it ever.
Miami opening up with Samantha Ginnivan with a knockdown. They got the 2 points. And Station Suttles got the KO for Philadelphia. Now Steve Cunningham getting the benefit of the doubt from the referee, a knockdown. So 6 big points for Philadelphia here in the middle.
These two heavyweights kind of mirror images of each other in terms of what they're throwing. Both are using a jab and a straight right hand as their primary weapon. And you almost get the feeling one of those, and there's a nice right hand from Williams.
Good overhand right again from Williams. Neal spits the guard.
Neal was a very good amateur runner-up in the National Golden Gloves back in 2023. And semis for the National Golden Gloves the year before. So he had a really good amateur career coming into the pros.
Williams feeling himself. A little dancing in the ring. Flicking a jab, a couple of jabs, and moving away. We'll see Williams again in the money round in round 22, but that time he'll take on Eric Ross.
A moment ago, Williams tried an uppercut from too far out, and the counter left hook by Neal barely missed. It was
just right there.
You can't throw that uppercut from that far out, and he almost paid for it. For Neal, I think right now, the lack of volume from him, even though Williams isn't throwing that much either, Neal really needs to step on the gas, I think, given their situation. There he does.
So tonight we've had 2 KOs, both for Philadelphia, and then 2 knockdowns. Miami with 1, Philadelphia with 1. Final seconds of round number 16. Good hook from Williams. Another good left hook from Williams.
You know, that was good work at the end of that round from Williams. And we talked about Neal's body punching, which is good. Williams was able to get some in as well.
Williams feeling himself. A little dance, a little shimmy in the ring, why not?
And we're at a critical point in this in this fight, and Jesse Hart, who played a big role in this.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 16 by split decision from the Philadelphia Smoke, Stephen Williams.
So, in the middle rounds, the Smoke takes control of this matchup. Can it change in the money rounds? Well, we know you love watching the TBL. We want to remind you, here's the ways you can do it. Beto will tell you about it.
Team Boxing League is all about action, and you have to spread the word. Tell your friends where they can watch Team Boxing League. Of course, make sure you download the TBL app. It's going to be there for you. You can also watch us on MSG Networks and the Gotham Sports app, as well as our home network, Envoy Fast. Plus, the full season of Encores are on Envoy TV every day. Make sure you download the Envoy app. Now, connect the TV users with Samsung, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, Roku, and LG devices can download the TBL app and watch both live action and play previous matches on demand. TBL is also on YouTube, the TBL app, and in Spanish on the Estrella Network.
Philadelphia is where we're closing out week 8 of Team Boxing League. And the hometown squad, the Smoke, have a 15-9 lead over the Miami Assassins. Beth Graham alongside Al Bernstein. And right now, let's just wish Kevin and Jane Cassidy a happy 42nd anniversary. The kids are still going strong, Al.
Yeah, boy, are they ever.
That's a great example.
That's a love story.
Right? It's beautiful. And you know what they're seeing? They're seeing knockdowns and knockouts as the middle rounds produced a lot of action. We had 2 knockdowns, and we also had a KO. It's been nothing but action-packed tonight.
Yeah, it looked like the Miami Assassins were taking control and had run a string of wins, and then things changed in the middle rounds.
It definitely changed. So at the end of the launch round, Philadelphia was up 6-5, and then Miami came out super strong. Round 9 out, we saw somebody go down.
Yeah, this was where Samantha Ginnington for Miami was looking very good with her power punches, and she ended up sending Nunez down, and that created an extra point for Miami, and that was when they were rolling. Then things changed. It was double jeopardy where scores can radically change, and Suttles came out against Ferretti, and she was just, at the end of the round, landed the great body shot, and with only seconds remaining, was able to stop her and create a 4-point swing.
Yeah, Brett never got up. Suttles with the big KO. That swung it around. Anastasia, we know, is an excellent fighter. Then round 15, oh no.
Yeah, round 15 is a seminal moment in this fight. Cunningham was in some trouble, but then this knockdown became a turning point and created a 4-point win, and Yuneski Gonzalez not happy about that decision.
So we're going to head to the launch rounds with Philadelphia leading 15-6. 2 teams that are undefeated. Philly coach Bob Kane said it wasn't going to be close. Well, it was close for a while, coach. But how will your team respond in the money rounds? And Herman Caicedo said he has a lot of confidence in his Assassins team. So we go to the money round. Which is the one to watch?
Yeah, we're going to revisit the round with Yosiel Napoles taking on Angel Hernandez for their second time. Now, Napoli's won the first one, but by a decision. And he, of course, is a big knockout puncher. They may need him to create a knockout against Angel Hernandez if the scoring doesn't change.
That'll be in round number 28. More action-packed rounds ready to go. Can Miami come back and get the victory? Well, Philly, hold on. Let's go to Ray Flores inside the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to begin the money rounds between the undefeated Miami Assassins and the unbeaten Philadelphia Smoke. Round 17 will be at welterweight. For Miami, Estudi Metivar Suero. For Philadelphia, Isaiah Johnson.
Isaiah Johnson got the decision over Estudi Suero in round number 12, but that was a very, very close one.
Yeah, and this fight is getting in there because Janet Rafik, of course, could not fight again. It was originally going to be Contreras against Rafik, but from our swing fights, we get this one instead. And this could be, as you said, a very interesting matchup because it was close the first time.
So you get 24 guaranteed rounds. If there is a fighter that is stopped or cannot continue, they have fighters ready to go in the swing bout. So they are determined before the fight starts. So fighters know that they might be a swing bout, just like Suero and Johnson were told, hey, you might fight. So you're ready to go, and they stay ready. So in the past, it would be, okay, it would be a walkover round, no more. Now Team Boxing League has decided to change it up, and you get 24 guaranteed rounds. This is very interesting, too, Al, for a fighter who says, hey, you're going to be in the swing part. You can't just take your gloves off. You still have to stay warm because you don't know if or when you're going to go. So they're making sure everything's connected. The doctors are ready. The judges are ready. And this is going to be Estudi Suero, the Miami Assassins in the gray, and Isaiah Johnson in the purple of the Philly Smoke.
And in that previous round, Suero couldn't quite close the distance as much as he wanted to. And you see him clearly trying to do that.
Then you see Johnson Bio, third season in TBL, does have one stoppage.
And that's a dynamic record.
Absolutely.
And it's because of what we saw in round one. He's just a very good technical boxer who keeps fighters at bay with his height and his reach and the left-handed stance, and makes it very difficult for them to create offense.
Just join us right now. You missed any action, go to the TBL Instagram account where they post a lot of behind-the-scenes coverage and immediate results, including highlights. So for the money rounds, we're going to have 3 swing bouts taking place. Right now, in Miami, you just got to make sure that you get Estudi Suero to get you a point.
Yeah, he's getting that right hand in a little bit more than he did in the first fight, and has done a little bit better, I think, offensively than he did in that first fight.
Sometimes you'll see fighters in launch rounds, they know them, they'll go at it back and forth, and they'll dap it up, a little smile. But once you get to the money rounds, everybody is locked in like no other. You love to see that.
And Suero understands the gravity of his team's situation here. And he's been more aggressive. Whether he's gotten enough done to please the judges, and we still have a minute left to go. A lot of clash of heads and some holding as well.
Oh, big shot by Johnson. Knocks down Suero. What Miami could not afford to have happen just did. Another point for the Smoke.
And the next 45 seconds may determine this match completely, because a 4-point difference here would be devastating to Miami.
We were talking about Johnson's impressive record, only had the one power knockout, and he brought it here in the money rounds. Why is the referee getting in there? Get out of the way.
Makes no sense.
They weren't clinching, and if you're Johnson, you had all the momentum. I'm not one to just bash referees, but this isn't.
Neither of us are, but that and some of the decisions he's made tonight have not been perfect.
Johnson swinging for the fences. I don't blame him. He's had to do it.
Yeah,
big round for the Philadelphia Smoke and Isaiah Johnson.
So a situation that was, as Beto said, not needed by Miami. A knockdown by Johnson, and Suero got hit with that nice overhand left and went down. He was able to get through the rest of the round, which at least keeps Miami in the hunt. And for Isaiah Johnson, he's happy.
2 points going to the Philadelphia Smokes. Isaiah Johnson.
Time is running out for Miami.
Round 18 at Featherweight. Miami, Samantha Ginathan. Philadelphia, Maria Antunes.
Now this is big for Miami because Samantha Ginathan dropped Maria Antunes in round number 9. And I remember we were talking about this, that Ginathan kind of eased off and let Antunes survive the round. And we were saying maybe that's going to cost him later on. It might.
Well, and she did land some good punches after that, but wasn't able to land the one she needed. And remember, it was a straight left hand that sent her opponent down, and that was what sent Antunes down. And we'll see if Ginathan can repeat that left hand.
And I think they told Antunes, don't do anything to allow Ginathan to get her hands extended. Stay close. If you're Ginathan, you have to go for it, right?
Oh my goodness, you need a knockdown or a knockout. You should be ripping those straight lefts in, which we just saw a moment ago. And Antunes is a pretty good fighter on the inside, so if she can get there, it also is a better place for her to be just purely from an offensive standpoint.
If whoever needed a KO is right now for Samantha Ginathan, as her Miami squad is down by 8.
And you see her just waiting to throw that straight left. I mean, she's
put it out there.
Yeah, it's literally telegraphed, but she said, I got to land this punch.
And Miami needs this because the next round is going to be Shaquilla Ellis, who's undefeated.
Well, the left hand is starting to get there for Ginathan, but can she land it like she did the last time?
Halfway through round number 18. And Antunes just trying to stay close and clench.
There was the left by Ginathan that broke through the guard of Antunes.
And you see the Philadelphia Smoke, 2 knockdowns, 2 KOs, plus 12 points.
It's a lot of extra points.
Yes. Less than a minute to go in the round. Ginathan controlling this round.
Yeah, she's definitely winning the round, or you would think so. But Miami needs more than that. Again, the straight left. I mean, you know, Ginathan knows what she has to try and do here.
She's a step on the gas with 30 seconds to go.
And she keeps trying that straight left, and she's gotten some in. But, you know, they just haven't landed as perfectly as the one that knocked Antunes down in the previous match.
There's the 1-2 from Ginathan.
Yep. Now
That's a good combination.
She's getting that punching regularly, but it's not hurting Antunes. And Antunes actually coming back and doing some good offensive work of her own.
Are we done? Guess so.
The clock ran out on Ginnethan's efforts to create a knockdown or a knockout, and she's happy about her performance. She did do well. And toward the end of that round, there were some big punches exchanged. Uppercut right hook by Ginnethan, and again the left. She did an excellent job in the last minute of that round and landed good power punches, but just not anything that would put Antunes down.
TBL fans, the winner of round 18 by unanimous decision. From the Miami Assassin, Samantha Ginnethan. The score, Philadelphia 17, Miami 10.
I'm not trying to say
Round
this, but
19
anything can happen in boxing.
Miami, Samantha Sosa. Philadelphia, Shaquilla Ellis.
But Samantha Sosa is going uphill with weights on her back against Shaquilla Ellis.
It's a tough ask, but she did have moments in her first fight.
Right.
And we saw the improvement from Sosa that we've seen all during the course of this season. But Ellis, obviously, and she alluded to it strongly with Amelia, her jab alone is so good that it keeps fighters at bay enough to win rounds. And she comes right out throwing it. Sosa has a good right hand. That's the punch she wants to try and get in here.
Show up and show out. That's what Shaquilla Ellis said, and that's exactly what Amelia Moore's guest did tonight.
Yes, you are ready, Sam. Samantha Ginnethan, that was your first knockdown this season, and we talked before about you going down in weight, and you do look so much bigger, so much stronger.
Thank you, thank you. I mean, when I was fighting at 140, 144 against Suttles, against Davis, I was at my walk-around weight. I was eating pizza, I was doing my thing. Now I'm dieting a little bit better. I'm actually having to cut weight, so that process has been a little bit different, and we've been doing it for 4 weeks in a row. So I'm getting to know my body better. I feel good here. I thought I could have got to finish. There's some things I need to work on, but you know, that's what this is all about. I look at it like a glorified sparring match, and you guys just get to see the progress of our work.
100%. You looked like you were trying to find that finish into that second round.
There's that knockdown, Shaquilla Ellis. That's going to put it away for Philly.
Damn, I thought that was for us, but that was for them. Okay. I said that would have been crazy if Ellis got knocked down, but I think that's a rare case.
All right, good job, Amelia. Shaquilla Ellis is just controlling this round, that knockdown, and there's a lot of time to go, Al, and Shaquilla Ellis showing why she's the best in the league.
Yeah, and Sosa had been exchanging with her. It even landed some pretty good right hands, but it was Ellis that got hers in better. And Sosa's doing a pretty good job of getting past it right now, but she's still in the pocket exchanging with Ellis.
And you see the size difference in Sosa. Obviously, Sosa should be fighting at a lighter weight, but she's stepping up, taking on Shaquilla Ellis. She's tough.
Yeah, she would like to be at a lighter weight than this, but sometimes you fight where you need to for your team. And Samantha Ginnethan was explaining that in the interview.
This is an ace card that Coach Bob Kane has, where he's going to make sure Shaquilla Ellis fights in the money rounds twice, no matter what.
Absolutely.
Okay, so when they decide who's going to go in the money round, they take turns. I'm going to have this fighter, you're going to take that fighter. And whoever the coach decides to put up, you got to find an opponent for them.
You're seeing a lot of toughness from Samantha Sosa right here. Excellent performance, of course, by Ellis. There's that right by Sosa. She can sneak it in, but Ellis certainly doing a great job. But Sosa showing a toughness to hang in there.
Respect to Samantha Sosa tonight.
Yeah, and she, you know, she's
got up twice.
When she's in these exchanges, she will get some punches in as well. But as you point out, Ellis is on another level. She's just has so much experience in amateurs and in TBL. And here's where they were in their exchanges, and this right hand is going to land, and knee touches. And Sosa, you know, tried very hard to hang in there, and she did make it through the round.
TBL fans. Fans, the winner of round 19 by unanimous decision. 2 points going to the Philadelphia Smokes, Shaquilla Ellis. The score, Philadelphia 19, Miami 10. Round 20 at lightweight, Miami, Yostiel Napoles. Philadelphia, Angel Hernandez.
Napoles and Hernandez going at it again. Napoles through decision in round number 10, a close one. And Philadelphia on their way to a victory. They hold up.
Well, if you're Miami, the one person you want to see step in the ring right now is Napoles, because he has produced a knockout. He's produced 2 other knockdowns this season, produced a total of 11 points with all his wins, and they need that now badly.
Yostiel Napoles, Angel Hernandez. You see on your screen, both teams undefeated, 4-0. Napoles' second season in TBL with a record 11-3. Dr. Duran, Al Bernstein, and Emilio Moore with you. Team Boxing League on the Sunday. Been a great weekend of boxing. Week number 8 has been fantastic. Week number 9 is also going to be good. Working our way towards Mega Brawl.
Yeah, it's been a fun weekend. And, you know, tonight we've had a lot of excitement in a bunch of different ways. And, it's been a more dominant performance than maybe from Philly than we might have expected. Not that we wouldn't expect them to perform well, but because of the closeness of what we thought this match would be. But there have been lots of intriguing twists and turns.
Team Boxing League continues to grow, get bigger and better. The additions of teams, international experience, excellent fighters coming in. Fighters have been on the big stages, big cards, fighting for world titles. We appreciate everybody that's a fan of Team Boxing League. Make sure you download the TBL app. Or check us out on MSG Networks, Envoy. People watching all over the world too. Yesterday we had Japan check it in, and down goes. No, he doesn't.
Well, that was interesting.
If you're Hernandez, you're upset, and if you're Miami, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, breathing a sigh of relief. Well, we talked about how Napoles needed the knockdown, but it was Hernandez who landed a nice overhand right. And both men have been swinging freely in this round. Obviously, Napoli's trying to make something happen, and in a way, that's part of why he was caught with that right hand.
And thanks to everybody watching us tonight. We got a normal crew in Philadelphia. We got Atlanta, the East Coast checking in. Also, we've had people in London watching tonight.
Hernandez thought he was hit behind the back of the head, and Napoles is arguing with him. No, that wasn't the case. Both these men have had a lot of these moments in the 2 rounds where there's been some scrappy action on the inside, and they have not been happy with each other. Napoli's right hand now is so wide and so wild that it was just hard for him to land it. This is a close one.
Yeah.
Now here's where left hook lands. There's a right hand that looked to me like it landed on the head of the face of Napoles and knocked him down, but it wasn't called. There it is. Oh,
I'll be quiet. I like my job. I'll be quiet. It's just one of those.
TBL fans, the winner of round 20 by split decision from Miami, Yostiel Napoles.
And if you're Hernandez, the way you fought that and lose.
Philadelphia 19, Miami 11. We like to thank our fight sponsors.
Oh, what a night for the Philadelphia Smoke. Looks like they're on their way to another victory of staying undefeated. They're up 19-11. Philadelphia Team Boxing League in the smoke. The hometown squad on top 19-11. Ray Flores, bring out our next fight.
Round 21 will be at super welterweight. Miami, Yoelis Molina. Philadelphia, Henry Cedeno.
All right, so we saw them in round number 6. Molina defeated Cedeno. That's back in the launch round when Miami closed out winning the last 5 rounds.
And then took the next 2 in the middle rounds. And then everything changed.
And hello to the Zempoteca sisters. Put on a good show yesterday. Natali, also Ryan. Again, I love it how all the fighters are watching, get done with their fight, come back and check us out the next night. Good unity in Team Boxing League.
Yeah, it's a fascinating concept that they get invested in how things are going with their team. And right here for Miami, I mean, they're in a spot where numerically they just have to get a couple of knockouts. That's what it's going to take here to get back in the fray.
I mean, there's no other way to put it. You need 4 points. And can Yoelis Molina deliver from the Miami Assassins? It's no longer about winning a round. You need knockdowns and you need knockouts.
And Cedeno and Molina put on a very good show in the first round that they were in there together. And we mentioned that Cedeno making his season 4 debut. He's got an accomplished record, now 19-6 in TBL, so he's been a good performer. And Molina has had an excellent season. He's now 5-1.
Coming up next, the heavyweight, Eric Ross against Stephen Williams. And it's going to close out with Juniespi Gonzalez against Stephen Cunningham. So Miami has 2 fighters coming up that have power.
And Gonzalez had Cunningham hurt, even though the round ended up being a good one for Cunningham.
Y saludos a Benny Roman, the coach of the New York City Attitude, watching right now. Attitude in a battle last night. Well, the New York City team is on the outside of the playoffs right now, but you got to be careful with them. They have a lot of talent. They can make a run.
Good straight left hand by Molina. He got that punch in some in their first encounter, not as much as he wanted, and he tries it again. Cedeno's a good counter puncher, and now he switches lefty. I mean, Cedeno's one of those fighters. He's 16-0 outside of TBL. Very accomplished fighter.
Of course, the latest stats and standings, make sure you go to tblstats.com. Keep up to date with what's going on. And we were wondering, Benny Roman, where we were. Yesterday, you were missed. Sorry about the passing of your mother. Thoughts and prayers to you and your family, Benny, one of the good men in the sport. Final seconds of the round. And I mean, it's never too early to start talking about the mega brawl, but if you're in Philadelphia right now and you're doing this to Miami, and that might be a team that you might see later on, it got to be in the back of your mind of, okay, I thought we had something, nothing.
Yeah, this could be a very big statement victory for, even though Yoelis Molina believes he won this round.
Yeah. I mean, but doesn't every fighter always think they won a round?
Yes, this is true, and that one was pretty close, but it could go his way. But I don't think it's written in stone. But yes, a special night for sure for the smoke.
The winner of round 21 by split decision from the Miami Assassins, Yoelis Molina. The score, Philadelphia 19, Miami 12. Round 22 at heavyweight for Miami, Eric Ross. Philadelphia, Stephen Williams.
All right, 3 rounds to go. Miami is down by 7. A heavyweight and a cruiserweight still to come. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's over, but there's still a slight chance. Here's a bad cliche. He's got a puncher's chance, right?
Yeah, and it is numerically possible. So if that's the case, then it is possible, and they're going to need lots of power here.
You need knockouts. You're Eric Ross. It's one punch. That's what you need. And Stephen Williams, I'm pretty sure Bob Kane told him, good defense here. Round number 22. Victor Abreu and Rasheem Brown coming up next.
And Williams, in the split decision win he had over Neal the last time, he was able to do just enough work when he got on the inside, showed a very good left hook, and that, I think those left hooks he landed is probably what got him the victory.
In the earlier round with Eric Ross, we were asking him to throw more, be more active, and he's doing some of that here.
Yeah,
the opening minute.
Yeah, he is, and of course he understands the need for doing that. He won his fight against Kanji Nathan primarily by kind of keeping him at bay and doing what he's doing right now. But yeah, as you said, yeah, he's going to be looking for that right hand to sneak that in if he can.
And Williams got the decision over Alonzo Neal to close out the middle rounds. Where if you're Ross, you lose a round, it's over. You need to be active. There you go. Throw the punches.
Well, in his last pro fight, Eric Ross scored a first-round knockout over Randolph Shaw. So
he has it in him.
He's capable of doing it, and the question is, can he get it done?
This is where Herman Caicedo, the coach of the Miami Assassins, has had fighters go for the world title. He's had fighters on the big stage. He's a great motivator. Right now, he's probably yelling at him.
And Williams keeping a very high guard to try and neutralize getting hit. Ross doing a good job with his jab. He's probably controlled this round enough to win it, I'm guessing. But again, and there it is, that jab again. The clock is ticking for Miami.
And before the fight started on the YouTube, Heck77 pointed out that on the poll, they had a poll, who would win, Miami or Philadelphia? And a lot of the poll had Miami edging from the fan perspective. Maybe Bob Kane in Philadelphia saw that and said, no.
Well, that round was likely controlled, I think, by Ross.
Yeah.
And there's a pretty good chance he might get the point win for Miami, which would still keep them in the hunt numerically.
Keeps the pulse going. It's a faint pulse.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 22 by way of unanimous decision from the Miami Assassins, Eric Ross. The score, Philadelphia 19, Miami 13. Our penultimate money round will be at featherweight. Miami, Victor Abreu. Philadelphia, Rasheem Brown.
And Rasheem Brown took round number 2 against Victor Abreu. And right now, down by 6, Miami needs a knockdown or a knockout to keep it alive, or else round 24 means nothing.
Yeah, and boy, if you're facing that, Rasheem Brown is not quite the guy you want to be facing it with, because he's so consistent. He wins almost all the time, and he's so defensively excellent that he's not the kind of guy you think you can knock out.
He never puts himself in a position of danger, does he, Amelia?
One more time, Beto. Sorry, it's incredibly loud over here in the Philly corner.
Oh, okay. So what's the Philly corner doing?
Philly corner has just been, it's been real loud on the side. The crowd itself has been very loud and very vocal. They want Rasheen to be able to be victorious in this round.
And usually Al Bernstein, Rasheen Brown gets the victory.
38 times
yes.
in Team Boxing League history. So, yeah, he's done it. And Victor Brehu, who's normally a very good come-forward fighter, has had a hard time tonight doing that. And Victor Brehu's had a very good season. He came into this 6-1 this year, this season in TBL, and you know, was on a 6-fight win streak, but he's just not been able to figure out the Rubik's Cube of Rasheen Brown.
Amelia, you talked to Philly coach Bob Kane before the match, and he said it was easy. They were going to win easy, no problem. He was prophetic.
I mean, he had an idea. He knew exactly what Rasheen Brown is capable of. You know, and I feel like we came across this last week when we saw in Atlanta, Javon Davis. We often, when the opponent isn't capable of kind of breaking that Rubik's Cube, right? The mind kind of gets shut down, and I feel like that's exactly what Brown's kind of doing to Abreu right now. Giving him problems he doesn't quite have an answer for yet.
Rasheen Brown doing to everybody. That's what he does.
And he's done it to most everybody outside of the TBL with his 15-1 pro record as well. He's just a very skilled fighter.
He's a fighter. If you're a promoter and you see Rasheen Brown on your screen, like, maybe I don't want to put a guy against him.
Yeah, he's technically sound, does enough offensively. He's not so defensive that he doesn't do enough to win rounds. He sure does. And
kind of reminds me of a guy you would have seen on your Showbox days.
Yeah, absolutely. That is totally correct.
That's what Team Boxing League is about, giving fighters like him exposure and opportunity to fight.
And you know, he fights tough guys in this TBL, so he's got that great record. But Victor Ray is a perfect example. You know, he's 7-1 as a pro outside of TBL. He's a fighter. I've done a couple of his fights in other venues, and he's a very solid pro.
Victor Ray will look frustrated in this round, and Rasheen Brown does that to a lot of people.
You can pretty much assume that number 39 might be in the bank for Rasheen Brown.
I'm going to put that down.
You're writing in pen, not in pencil, right?
Double pen. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share on the YouTube, and make sure you follow the TBL Instagram account.
The winner of round 23 by unanimous decision. From the Philadelphia Smoke, Rasheen Brown. The score, Philadelphia 20, Miami 13. Our final money round will be at Cruiserweight. Miami, Yuneski Gonzalez. Philadelphia, Steve Cunningham Sr.
All right, this is a round between salty vets for pride.
Precisely.
Yeah.
That is exactly. I was thinking exactly the same thing before you said it.
I mean, I've watched you for many years, Al. I've taken all your lines.
You read my mind. There you go.
Absolutely.
Or I read yours. I'm not sure which.
No, I'm reading yours. You're Al Bernstein. I'm just pretending I'm Raul Marquez right now. Yuneski Gonzalez, who was very upset the previous time they met because it was ruled a knockdown. It was really a push. And that swung the night. I was in round number 15. It was a 3-point swing. And if there's anything about Yuneski, he's nicknamed the Monster for a reason, El Monstro.
Well, earlier in that round, he did have Cunningham in trouble.
Yes.
It looked like Cunningham might well go down. So that, you know, you can make a strong case for that turnaround that you pointed out. And you're right, both these men would like to get the win here no matter what, even if it doesn't affect the team score.
Junieski also involved in bare knuckles boxing. He's done some of that.
Yes.
Fascinating story about how he escaped Cuba, got to Miami. He had a great battle with Zulu Ramirez.
He has fought some really good fighters in boxing over the course of his career.
Along with Steve Cunningham.
Yeah, that's for sure. Cunningham, two-time Cruiserweight champion at a time when the Cruiserweight division was exceptionally special. And it has been on several occasions, though it doesn't always get the notice it should.
Oh, there's a new Cruiserweight champion, David Benavidez.
Yeah.
If he decides to stay there.
Gonzalez has gotten in some pretty good right hands in this round, and like he did in the first encounter with Cunningham, and there.
That's the.
Cunningham has really been pretty defensive in this round, kind of just making sure that nothing, trying to make sure nothing terrible happens here.
These are the two guys who've been around the world, what they've seen in the sport, both good and bad. You know, Vegas do a lot of those reunions for like the veteran fighters, retired fighters. Just sitting at a bar with Cunningham and Gonzalez, the stories you'd hear.
Yeah.
Off the record, of course.
Yes, exactly. You know, yeah, both these men have plenty to talk about. Cunningham using the jab a little bit. He hasn't done that too much in this round. Gonzalez has been able to pretty much control this round using the right hand, whether it's a straight right or an overhand right. It's been a statement night for the Philadelphia Smoke as it winds down. It's just pretty remarkable what they've done. And Gonzalez putting an exclamation mark on this one.
Team Boxing League Week 8 is done, and the Philadelphia Smoke, a happy squad, as they will remain undefeated. Miami will lose for the first time this season, but I don't think this will be the last time we see these two. Mega brawl right around the corner.
Well, they're both going to be playoff teams. We know that. Miami's very likely to be in the playoffs, and so we'll see how it transpires at that point. But a great win for Miami in this fight for Philly.
And at
Team
home
Boxing League fans, the winner of round 24 by way of unanimous decision from the Miami Assassins, Junieski Gonzalez.
Philly stays undefeated. They defeat the Miami Assassins 20-14. A couple of big KOs for the Smoke. Coming up, we'll give you some interviews. Team Boxing League. Sports Evening in Philly and Team Boxing League is brought to you by Balance of Nature. In boxing, consistency beats intensity. Balance of Nature supplements help you stay consistent with ingredients of whole foods you can easily slot into your daily routine. Go to balanceofnature.com, use the code TEAM, and start today. Well, they say it's always sunny in Philadelphia, and you're shining if you're the Philadelphia Smoke. And let's look at some of the highlights for this one. And right away, the star of the fight. Oh my goodness, tonight started well.
Yeah, Lysandra Contreras with that KO win over Rafiq, and this set the tone for the evening. And though there was a comeback from Miami, it was not enough to change things.
Let's go inside to hear from the fighters.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Harris Casino here in Philadelphia, PA, your final score, the Philadelphia Smoke 20, the Miami Assassins 14. Philadelphia remains undefeated on the season. Here are your 3 stars of the fight. Your number 3 star, Miami Assassins Featherweight, Samantha Ginnathan. The number 2 star, Philadelphia Smoke Super Lightweight, Stasia Sotos. The Balance of Nature number 1 star, Philadelphia Smoke Bantamweight, Lysandra Contreras. The round of the night, round number 5, between Darius Jackson and Steve Cunningham Jr.
Coach Bob Kane, it's your favorite hour of the night at the interview portion. Man, Clash of the Titans tonight, but Philly dropped the hammer.
Yeah, it was good.
Indeed it was. So tonight also, ladies' night, my gosh, we have 3 women in the 1, 2, and 3 star spot tonight. I really appreciate the way you lean on your female fighters every time.
Yeah, females are important in the league. When you got a good female, you got to stick to it. Samantha.
Some excellent work, Samantha.
Nah, but all respect to Miami. They came to fight. It was good, but we're going to continue to win and win the championship.
So speaking of the championship, you guys, is there anybody that you're looking forward to in the Mega Brawl? I know Vegas says they want the smoke.
Not really. I mean, what is our record? 229-65 going into tonight. That's a 78% win ratio. Does anyone else have that?
I don't believe so. It's just you guys.
Exactly.
Congratulations, Coach. Miss Suttles. Oh my goodness gracious. A lot of times people, they just kind of pick on the fact that you have great straight shots. I mean, this is like down the pipe, you're very strong. But I keep saying your secret weapon is the body work.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we work hard in the gym, and this past week I've been working really hard with my coach, going up, going down, going to the head, going to the body, and I was able to execute tonight.
Excellent work. And then, you know, not to share business, but Bob had mentioned that you weren't feeling well this week, and I had talked to Rashida about that. Just what it shows to be able to dig deep when you don't feel well and just still be able to make it happen and make it happen with an exclamation point.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a rough week. I'm on the, you know, just coming off of a cold. It's that time of the month for us, for myself, and so just to be able to come in here and perform and do my thing for my team, it feels good.
In the words of Alicia Baumgartner, we can do it all.
Yes, most definitely.
Congratulations, good win tonight. Lysandra, you came in incredibly assertive right off the bat and set the tone for your team.
Estabas muy fuerte a empezar la pelea. ¿Qué eras tu mente en ese momento para empezar en la pelea?
Básicamente no, porque el resultado ante mi oponente no me lo esperaba, ya que cuando pude tener la oportunidad lo supe aprovechar.
I didn't wait. I needed to come out, be assertive. I went right after my opponent. I saw an opportunity, and I took it.
So Bob Kane had brought you in this season. He said that you come and train at his gym. How happy are you that you came to the Philly Smoke and found a great home?
Que estás, alegrado, estás entrenando con Bob Kane y Philadelphia. Es tu primer season con Team Boxing League y con Philadelphia también.
No. Yo estaba peleando.
¿Qué puedes descubrir que es tu primer en el season con Team Boxing League con Bob, con Philadelphia? ¿Qué
Yo
significa para ti?
La verdad, estoy agradecida de representar a Filadelfia, ya que me encanta su vibra, cómo me tratan, cómo manejan cada boxeador y eso es lo más.
I love how they handle their fighters. I love the team, the camaraderie aspect, and it's an honor for me to represent Philadelphia when I step inside this ring.
Wonderful, wonderful work tonight.
Buena suerte.
Thank you.
Beto?
Great job, Amelia, all night long. Fantastic work by Ray Flores in the ring, or the ring announcer and interpreter. And you're watching this, and Bob Kane does not like interviews. But the jabs that he takes at everybody in the league, I love that, Al.
A man of few words, but he makes them count for sure. Extraordinary tonight, I think, because when you think of that run that Miami had toward the end of the launch rounds in the middle, a 7-fight win streak, including a knockdown, that was an 8-point swing, and that wasn't enough for them.
No.
They still came back, Philadelphia, from that. That's pretty extraordinary.
He said it before the game that it were going to be easy for them, and Philadelphia did it tonight, taking care of business. Now let's look at the updated standings. Only one team is undefeated, and that's the Philadelphia Smoke. They're now 5-0. Miami loses for the first time. They go to 4-1. So after 8 weeks of action, here's how it looks. The top 8 teams qualify for the postseason, and next week, big battles. Friday, Houston and San Antonio in a Texas showdown. Nashville and Boston on Saturday. And then we wrap up the weekend in LA as the Phoenix Fury taking on the LA Elite. What a great weekend of boxing. Great job by everybody behind the scenes, especially our replay crew, producer, director, Moon, making sure everything happened. Fantastic work for everybody in the crew. For Amelia Moore and Al Bernstein, I'm Beto Duran. Thanks for watching. The Philadelphia Smoke at home stay undefeated, taking care of business with some big KOs. They are running Team Boxing League. Will they stay undefeated as they get closer to Mega Brawl? The way that they're talking, the way that they're fighting, woo-wee, watch out. Have yourself a great weekend. Philadelphia is on fire, Team Boxing League.